In fact, I'm going to give you my own advice that I give myself. But also thank you for highlighting, my journey. I was speaking to one of the runners earlier and we spoke about health. And as a runner, and probably as a 60-odd-year-old man, I'm grateful, and I think we all should be grateful that we're still able to do what we are doing. And when you're out of it, you sort of long, for that. But in hindsight, you think back and you say, you know what, I still have my health. There are other people that are not so lucky. But be that as it may, so shukran for that, Mr. Shamir. That was very inspiring for me. So Ahmad Hatta sent me a long list in the week. I don't know, that agenda was probably about 12, 15 points, Kashifa. So I'm going to put that aside and just share with you. And I know a lot of you are doing your marathon for the first time, on Sunday. But for those of you that don't know, I do run for Iketo by affiliation. But I was here tonight, and I know so many of you, and I think I've traveled a long journey with a lot of you, that I feel within my veins, some of my blood is orange. Hey! So, on my way I was thinking, people ask, for advice, and, first timers, and, people that have run many, many marathons. Now I've done comrades, I've been fortunate to do comrades, I've done Oceans, Ultra, and I've done many marathons over the years. But the advice that I give somebody that's new to her first marathon is exactly the same for me after I've done so many marathons over the years. My approach to training for comrades, to training for ultra, and training for the marathon is exactly the same. And there's a couple of things that will change. That would be probably the distance that you train at, the intensity that you train at. And hello, Ahmad. Welcome. And the distance that you're running. And those are the things that will change, but inherently, the approach will be exactly the same. Now, I'm not going to talk about your preparation because I must assume that you all, if you are in the marathon, you've done the training. And here's the conundrum, and I don't hope to scare you if it's the first time. Fadila, that's your first one, eh? Where's she? It's your first one. Well done. So, I'm assuming that you've done all your training and you've put a lot of hours and effort, into your first marathon. So, when I run or train for comrades or for ultra, the first thing that you must do is, number one, is the desire that you have a goal to want to achieve finishing the marathon. If somebody asks me, I've been running for years from my home, and I have a number of runners from Umidrai, from Intego, from Spartans, from Nantes, etc. And we all have the same goal. Number one, we want to run, and we want to train to achieve a particular goal. Whether that goal be ultra, whether that be, a marathon, for that matter. Because our colors don't define us as runners. It only allows us to associate to a group. But those of you that run, when you run on that day, for those of you that go to comrades in Durban, let me tell you something. For every day, Farid and I chatted about this. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter which club you belong to. But people recognize and say that there's us from Intego, that's Farid, or Aisha from Umidrai. And they open their hearts for you to support you on the road. And that is part of that running culture that you instill. So when I run with people, we have a common goal, we want the same things. So if you train for your marathon on Sunday, I must assume that you put in the effort. I must assume that you put in the the training. Because if you did put in the training, then, like they always say, you've heard the stories before, whether it was from Lindsay Valley, whether you went on YouTube, or whether it's because amongst yourselves here, you are incredible runners. You have people here in this group that have an incredible amount of experience and ability. And you see it. You look at your stats and you see the runners. I don't want to mention names, but you know who they are. So here's the conundrum. If you're going to train on, if you train for this marathon on Sunday, and you're going to run it, it's hard. This is hard. I can tell you that now. Right? If you haven't trained for it, it's even harder. Because people ask me, that's not the marathon challenge, because what people don't do. I can tell you now, you're going to suffer. You're going to experience pain from early on in the race, and it becomes probably the worst experience that you could ever have. Now, that's your training. And we always say that if you've done the training, it's 80% of the battle that's won. And the other part is mental. And a lot of you have done combats, and you've done ultra, and you've done a marathon. When you get to 30 in a marathon, and when you get to 60 at comrades, and when you get to 42, before you get Constantia Neck on ultra, you start feeling that, because it's the most difficult part of the race. Everybody for ultra at 28, they're all laughing, that leg lekker. And then you start, taking chutneys, and it starts to eat into your body. So bear that in mind. It's very, very mental. It's extremely mental. But it starts, with the approach. For example, I have had in the past 2013, I did my first comrades. I'm sure some of you have done it. The worst conditions ever in the history of comrades. 2013, 33 degrees heat, berg winds. 14,300 starters, 10,000 finishes. The worst step in the history of comrades. Zaidem, we were there, with the Shamir, we were there. It was absolutely shocking. Right, so whilst we're talking about the weather, let's talk about the weather before we get on to the other nitty-gritty things. 2012, Ultra, it was a nightmare. Right, you hit the finish on Ultra, and as you trot, you'd know it. As you hit that finish line and you trot on the mud, your shoe will stay behind, and you must pick it up, and he was on to the finish. And when you got to the top of Chappies, normally on a hot day they give you some refreshment, and it was so cold that day, they gave us suckers. And I said, "You'll take coffee or pie or something like that." So Fadila and the other newcomers, people asked me in the week, "Hoe gaan die weer wees?" En I said, "It was in my life, ek kan nie lees wat die weer is." Julle vra vir my, when you're running a marathon or any race, there are what we call controllables and non-controllables. You can control the way you train and how much you train. You can control your nutrition, you control all of those things. But it's two things that you have no control over. You can't control the weather. And for those of you that run with me, when it storms, whether it's on a Sunday or Saturday morning, they're all sitting and waiting for this message to say this run is off. The run will only be off if your life is in danger. Rain is not going to put your life in danger, because on the race day, if it storms on Sunday, at Captain Marathon, which I'm sure it won't, everybody will be there. So why would you want the same principle not apply to you in your training. Aisha Saudi sent me a message 2 weeks ago. Salam alaikum Aslam. Is the run on? And I just said, Inshallah. So we got in a group, and Aisha said to them, Did awesome Aslam. Is the run is on? And Owner Puni said, you must never, ever do that. So that's part of your preparation, is the mental side. You know, you've got to get your mind right and say, I'm going to do this. And to the first timers, do you know what an achievement it is to actually line up for your first marathon? And we underestimate that. It is absolutely huge because we know as marathon runners and experienced people what it has done for us. So that's the first thing. It's extremely mental. It's the way you think. 2013 and the rest of my own, alternate running career, people have said to me, I asked them just to use a name, Valde, how are you feeling? Nee, ek is alright, ek het maar kyk, hoe ver gaan ek kom? Boom, you're gone. I can tell you now, you're gone. Because already, you now, your mindset is saying that ek het maar kyk, hoe ver gaan ek kom? That could be 30K, it could be 35, it could be 40K. Because you have to be mentally strong. I mean, Washfi and Farid, they will tell you about the first conference. And if they reflect back Washfi, you've learned so much from the first one. And look at his achievements today, which is absolutely incredible. Just before I move on, I think it's so important for me to make, one or two acknowledgements. So, I met Aisha, I call her Plain Aisha. Plenty? Aisha Sony Redcliffe. Hopefully, if you don't mind. And I met Aisha in 2023. We started running together and trained once or twice. And I met her on the Cape Town Marathon. And that was a bad day for me, but Aisha came standing past me and she ran a sub 5:30. That was in 2023. I met Aisha last year with Ashar and with Fuad. With Fuad, Ashara's father. And Aisha ran her first sub 5. Right? Aisha then ran the Peninsula Marathon and she ran a fantastic 4:55, 4:56. 4:54. Sorry about the marathon. And I know she came to us and she said, she came to me and she said, Brother Aslam, are you running in the Ramadan? I said, yes, we are. We run after Fajr, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours every weekend. And she says, yo, no, not for me. With the Fuad, I don't know what his surname is.
David.
David. I met him, on Winelands. And I ran past him, and he went for a qualifier, and I think he came in about 5:12, 5:15. And needless to say, with the Shabir, I was on my road to recovery, and I ran a 5:05.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, very frustrated, but I thought, it's part of my recovery. But the Fuad ran Peninsula. Now, bearing in mind, he kept on. He just kept on plugging along. And I said to him, you just got to keep on. It comes. Everything comes in stages because you must be patient. The same way you run a marathon or ultra or comrades, you have to be patient. Because there's 3 fundamental things. You must be patient in terms of the pace, the distance. You must be highly disciplined and you maintain your composure all the time. So Fa'ad ran a 4:54 and he ran on Ashraf's orange bus and he qualified.
Alhamdulillah.
He came back and he asked me exactly the same thing. Hulle het die Ashraf met die puasa. Hy sê, hulle kan nie puasa nie, ek kan nie puasa, hulle het ek het na, sama oor hulle. And I said to him, it's all about the mind. Get the mind right. Bear in mind we have responsibility. If you Muslim, that you have to uphold, etc. You can't put your body under too much strain, but we're going to do as well as we can. And they train hard because they put in the effort. And I know Aisha's words to me was that first morning, she said, Uncle Ashraf, do you think I can do this? And I said, yes, you can do it. Because you gauge people in terms of their performance and their effort and, the results of a period of time. And needless to say, both Buddha Fuad and Aisha finished the first album. So well done.
Wow.
So that's an example. Number one, in terms of patience, in terms of your training, if you have a particular goal for this weekend, whatever that goal may be, whether that goal may be a sub 6:30 or sub 6 or sub 5:30 or sub 4. Comrades, Oceans, even a marathon, they selfish races. I ran 2016, I ran together with Anissa. And both my sons were with me. And Anissa asked my son for something. And he said, no, my daddy said I mustn't help you. And it's a selfish race because you put in so much effort. Into that particular race, because we can move into talk about running in a group. There are buses that you may want to join on Sunday. My advice to you is if you're going to join a bus, then know how they're running. It's very difficult to train a particular way if you're going to run in a bus and they don't run the way you've trained. And that's why in the Omidrai buses, you all train together and you run together. But you have to be patient when you do that, and you need to have a plan, whether that's plan A or plan B. And you stick to that plan. But you must have a plan B. Oh, the bully, her blood is still orange. She's only wearing different colors. But Ola and some others, they can come as this year as well. And we're busy talking about plans. You can't have one plan. You can't say, I want to run a sub 12 and have a plan for sub 12. You can't have a pace that's going to take you to 12 only. There's no margin for error. Absolutely nothing. And if you have a plan, then you stick to that plan. Because you make provision for incidentals. There will be obstacles, trust me. Never ever stand still. Jenny comrades, there's 49 water stations. 49.